morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Disney Morning Show from your friends at Laughing Place. It's been a while, but we're back. Vacation is over, and I am back. Welcome. I already said that. My name is Doobie Mosley, co-founder of Laughing Place. Over there is Kyle Burbank, our managing editor. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing well, and I would like to thank our friends at Roosevelt's for this hoodie.
Oh, thank you. What is that? Is that like
This
Best
is the
Bar?
Beskar Steel
Oh, that close.
Mandalorian.
Best Bar, Best Car. Um, yeah, so we're going to bring you up to date on what's going on in the world of Disney and otherwise. We have not done a show in a while because I was on vacation, went to Owani. I'm sure I'll mention that at some point throughout this. But otherwise, let's get started the way we do every day. All right, so when we last did this, the Disney share price was $95.41, and today it is $95.56. So
Whoa.
essentially the same as it was like more than a week ago. In between, it's probably had some fun travels, but now it's right back where it was.
Like
So,
you.
still struggling to get to 100, which would then get it halfway to its all-time high. Whoa, not it. Not right. Not right. What am I doing here? Oh my goodness.
You've
I'm so
only used
lost.
this software for however long.
You know what would help make it easier?
Hotkeys.
Yeah.
Speaking of hot, let's go to Ethan.
Good morning and welcome to another week of the LP Disney Weather Report. I could feel at the time. There was no way of knowing. Fallen leaves in the night. Who can say where they're blowing? As free as the wind, hopefully learning. Why the sea on the tide has no way of turning. More than this, you know there's nothing. More than this, tell me one thing. More than this, there's nothing. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim will be partly cloudy today with a high of just 68. It will also be a bit breezy.
I'm breezy.
Walt Disney World will be overcast today and make it up to a high of 82 that feels like 84 thanks to our good friend humidity. Castaway Cay is windy today and cooler than normal with a high of 80. Meanwhile, Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point will also be windy and slightly warmer at 82 degrees. Disneyland Paris is enjoying a nice night with partly cloudy skies and temps in the 50s. Tokyo will be overcast tomorrow with showers possible in the afternoon and forward. They'll top out at a high of 64. Shanghai will be nearly 70 tomorrow with sunny to partly cloudy conditions. Lastly, Hong Kong will climb to a high of 80 tomorrow but will be largely overcast, keeping the UV index low. And that will do it for another Disney weather update. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
The next time I actually watch what's happening, I'm going to be so confused as to what is the theme music. Roxy Music, is there a more underappreciated 80s band?
Probably, but I can't think of any.
Exactly, so that makes me right. All right, where are we starting? What's happening today, Kyle?
So Moana 2 tickets are now on sale, and so every theater chain you know is finding ways to monetize. We'll start off with the El Capitan. They are going to be having a fan event as well as some other packages. So for the fan event, you can get a reserved seat, a character straw clip, a color-changing water bottle, a collectible tin with popcorn, a fountain drink, and an event credential, which means that you get a seat for the movie. And a Moana will appear as well. That is $68 per person, and that'll be on November 27th at 7 p.m. But of course, they'll have a regular run of the movie. So if you're in Hollywood, make sure you stop at the world-famous El Capitan and see it.
Can I get a prediction from you, Kyle? Will we get a surprise appearance by a filmmaker or voice actor?
Yes, probably at the fan event, and then maybe again during the opening weekend. But I would say definitely at the fan event.
That's what they've been doing lately. Okay, and then what is Regal doing?
Regal has a bunch of different items that you can check out. I don't exactly.
This is
know
not
all
Regal.
of them are.
Sorry.
What?
I showed the wrong video.
Oh, there's a wave popcorn bucket, which is actually pretty cool looking. There's also a nacho raft for her boat, which I don't really care for nachos, but I appreciate the themed element there. They also have a dome cup and a popcorn bucket. The dome cup's kind of cool. It's for ices and stuff. It's got like a cool design, and then some other pops and stuff like that. Like seriously, the merchandising for movies at movie theaters has really gone crazy.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing when we were much. Was that a thing when you were working theaters?
Not really. Like at most we'd have like a regular popcorn bucket, like the paper one. I think maybe once or twice we'd have like a plastic bucket for like Harry Potter or something that you could upgrade to for an additional 50 cents or whatever. If we didn't have these, pay $20 for this product and we'll put popcorn in it, or most likely give you a popcorn on the side because you don't want to actually sully your popcorn vessel with popcorn.
We love when Regal does this because invariably it becomes a huge article for us. So thank you, Regal. Keep it up. And
We got about 6 articles coming today because we've got like I said, every theater chain's got something. So be sure to check out Laughing Place all day as we have basically a Moana takeover of our front page potentially.
and one more.
Yeah, you can also win a trip to some place called Olani. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Doobie.
Slightly, a little bit.
But yeah, so check that out. You can apply or not apply, but enter to win a giveaway and yeah, get your Moana 2 tickets.
Here, let's see how they promote this
with Moana.
Bring it on, Coco. Nuts.
Boat snack! Oh, boat snack upgrade. Bacon and eggs.
Select videos may be featured on Disney Plus, but maybe not. Or maybe they'll be there and then they'll be removed with the next purge. Some good typing he did.
Yeah, sorry. Real work. All right, my turn. So Tiana's Bayou Adventure is not open yet. What's its opening date? November 17th? 18th?
That's a really great question. It's just open to me now, so I don't know.
It is not open. Come on, Jimmy.
I want to say 16, but that's probably wrong. Or 19, something involving a 6 or a 9, depending on which way you flip it over.
Why don't you find out real quick while I talk?
I will find out.
So
or Luke will probably message me while watching.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland, of course, we're talking about. It's been open at Magic Kingdom for months and months. But at Disneyland, it will be opening on a date Kyle will give us in just a moment.
November 15th. We're just dancing around it.
November 15th, which is just a couple of weeks away. But it's essentially open in previews. Magic Key previews have taken place. We have Mike Celestino got to ride it. We have a full ride through. That's right.
after well, actually 2.5 times that we know of, because the first time he rode it, he got stopped at the lift hill and had to evacuate, and then went back and it was still down, and then he finally got to ride it at night. But then he was able to go over the weekend and get a daytime video. So you can check out both of them. I'd recommend the daytime, having edited the nighttime one. And, sometimes, you're subject to, when you're recording, the people around you
yes,
are enjoying their own ride. And you pick that up. And sometimes you have to edit out things that they say.
These are not media rides. These are just Magic Key rides. So we've got a full video up there. We also have a side-by-side comparison with Disneyland Splash Mountain, and we have a side-by-side comparison with the Magic Kingdom's Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which is more challenging than it sounds because it is not the same ride layout at all.
Both are challenging because, it's a flume. It doesn't flow at the exact same speed all the time, especially when obviously this ride has been having some technical challenges, which is why they do previews in the first place. So yeah, getting everything up, there's some stoppage.
We've also got full a lot of pictures. This is from the queue, which is very extensive queue. Looking through this, looks very similar to the Magic Kingdom version, but we have covered it in detail. And then I guess we have sorry, that's not the one I want. This land is now called Bayou Country, right?
I think technically November 15th it'll become Bayou Country, even though
I've seen a sign
is up now.
I've seen a sign.
Okay, and it opened up your eyes base to base, but calm down. Officially, they said that on the 15th, or November 15th, when Tiana's opens, it'll become Bayou Country.
Okay. Hungry Bear Barbecue.
Sure, the park map, I don't think they reprinted it to say Bayou Country.
That's what matters. The Barbecue Jamboree is now open. We've got pictures from there. We would have taste for you, but that's not yet possible on the internet. the Bayou Country retail location. I'm sorry, the
Berets?
Raised Berets. Why is that so hard for me?
I don't know.
Is now soft open. And I keep wanting to say Rye too, which is really embarrassing. Raised Berets is open.
Rise Berise.
So we've got pictures from there. So we've got you covered on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Mike Celestino has been our main guy there. And of course, today's Monday. So we've got Parks Talk today. So that's why we're running through this today, because
Two-show Monday.
Today at 4 o'clock Pacific time, we'll have Mike Celestino, and he will give us much more in-depth on Tiana's Bayou Adventure and everything else happening there. However, we already have a review up on our site by someone not named Mike Celestino, and we'll get to that in the review section of our show. I am excited to do that. All right, Kyle, I would say what's next, except it's my turn still.
Still your turn.
So AI apparently is the thing. I don't know. I've heard of it.
Joel Osment film, yeah.
I've heard of it. I'm a little afraid to get into it myself. I'm keeping my no, it's not true. I use AI every single day, many times a day.
Can I tell you how excited Tony was about this featured image?
Why?
Because it's like Zoog Disney, and it's kind of, futuristic robots and stuff. So he thought it would be fun, and I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Then I'll leave it up. Oh, so Tony came up with. Oh, very good, Tony. That's some creativity. Because I probably just would have used Haley Joel Osment.
I don't know. Is that a Disney movie? I think it is, actually.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, find out.
I'm sure Bill, if Bill has written about it, you'll find out shortly.
Reports indicate Disney's getting ready to announce a new AI initiative that involves hundreds of people and will, quote, transform the creative output with a primary focus on post-production and visual effects. It will also involve Disney Parks experience, though it's been reported not guest-facing stuff, just stuff to help them on the back end. Apparently, they've been working on their own AI initiatives, but not as expansively as some other sources have suggested. So I guess there's been previous articles about Disney and AI, and maybe they're not jumping in with both feet as much as some people may have thought. But it's going to be exciting to see what happens. Every company is using AI. You can always tell what the hot thing is by driving to SFO, San Francisco Airport, because all the billboards will have the same buzzwords. At one time, it would have been cloud, but right now, every single billboard, of course, has AI. You could be delivering pizzas, and somehow they are working AI into the process. Oh,
we'll get to that.
Oh, all right.
But next, I want to talk about Spider-Man. Because I have to give props to Tom Holland and how smart he is. He must have arranged this with Sony, where we would get these little teases about the fourth Spider-Man movie while he's promoting and launching his non-alcoholic beer, because he's appeared on like all of the talk shows. And so he gives them like a little Spider-Man taste, be like, yeah, we're filming next year. And then being like, by the way, buy my beer. So it's pretty smart. And by the way, I tried one of his non-alcoholic beers so far, and I quite enjoyed it. So I'm excited to try the other two that are sitting in my fridge. But Spider-Man 4 has been slated for July 24th, 2026. That is a couple months after Avengers Doomsday comes out. So that's kind of following how we've seen some other Spider-Man movies follow up Avengers movies. And so we don't really know anything else about it, but Tom did say they'd be filming it soonish. So hopefully it'll be good.
Like Tom Holland. Good guy. Maybe I'll even try his product, since I am a teetotaler.
There you go. There's 3 different ones.
Have you tried them?
I've tried the hazy IPA so far. I still have there's a wheat one, and then a Pilsner.
Sorry, go ahead.
So the 7th episode of Agatha All Along apparently drew 4.2 million views in a day. That's up 35% from the premiere episodes. Although the numbers that they gave for the premiere episode, they didn't break it out into a single day. But I guess they also, I don't know, they do this thing where they just, pick and choose numbers to try to sound impressive, as I've talked about before. But it sounds like it's good news. It sounds like people are more invested in it now, and the finale is next week. Two-part finale. This week now, Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that. I really enjoyed this episode. Our own Marshall, one of the top articles over the weekend, was one where he was talking about Patti LuPone's role on this show and why he thinks that she should be Emmy nominated. So you can check that out as well. But yeah, if you haven't been watching Agatha, be sure to get caught up before Wednesday so you can enjoy the 2-part finale.
I got a long way to go. How many episodes have there been so far?
7.
Okay, then I am 7 episodes behind, so
Yeah.
I need to cram. So sticking to Marvel by moving to Star Wars, apparently the Stephen Knight, who was working on the untitled Ray film,
I was so ready for you to mess it up.
is no
Good thing
longer.
there's no Gamora news in here.
I know. I'm too dumb to have running gags because then I forget that they're running gags and I don't know what's right and wrong. All right, this is the second time that this upcoming Lucasfilm project has had to search for a new writer. Daisy Ridley said recently she has not seen the script yet. The new film is expected to see the Emperor's granddaughter start her own Jedi Academy. And most importantly, the delay is not expected to affect the release dates for the 2 upcoming untitled Star Wars films, which will debut on December 18th, 2026 and December 17th, 2027.
It's really hard for Lucasfilm to keep a writer or director on projects.
Dude,
Don't get it.
The yin and yang between the success of their Marvel acquisition and the success of their Lucasfilm acquisition is just insane. And then Pixar's like somewhere in between.
As Tony was talking about, we got some news from Shanghai Disney Resort over the weekend. Oddly, they're bringing some Figment items over to the park. One of them we've seen here. It's that.
I mean, if Tony created this is almost a poster.
That's some key art right there. But yeah, so one of the things we've seen is the popcorn bucket that they've released at Epcot, and I think eventually made its way to Disneyland. But this is something, according to Tony at least, that we haven't actually seen in America yet, and it's a little straw clip. Looks very
mute
cute.
it. I don't have a way to mute it.
It's okay.
Talk over it.
It's cute. And that's the popcorn bucket. So yeah, with that little baby thing, we've seen, at least not that we remember. Feel free to cross out. And yeah, you might be wondering, do they have a Journey into Imagination in Shanghai? No, they don't. I guess they just like cute things. I don't know if the fans over there know who Figment is, but they're about to find out.
They are about to find out. Figment will take over your world. You'll never again.
I think this is fine. You know who Yakov Smirnoff is?
Yeah.
So I did a takeoff of that to Tony. I said, in communist China, imagination spark you.
That's fine. That's funny. All right. Quick little tip. This probably should have been under and the rest, but I love the military, and having just visited Pearl Harbor, I love it even more. So Walt Disney World is on the special savings for U.S. military members throughout 2025. You can save the typical 20, 25, or 30%, depending on the room level that you book, for stays January 1st through December 19th, and booking available starts with booking rates until, January 1st through December 19th. As always, for any discounts like this, or any trips you want to book, we highly recommend our travel partner, mousefantravel.com. You might wonder when you see like special offers, do you have to actually book through Disney to get those offers? No, you don't. Not only do you not have to book through Disney, if you book through Mousefan Travel, they will make sure you get the offers. Whereas Disney, they're just going to do whatever you tell them to do. Mousefan will make sure you get any discounts that are available to you. So mousefantravel.com. Tell them.
Oh, I found it at the last second right after I clicked
Put it
off.
Put it up.
I'm trying. Okay.
Mousefantravel.com. There they are. I recommend you ask for Rich Ostry because he is a big supporter of our live streams. But anyone over there will take care of you. Our normal travel agent is Heather. Becky, of course, is the head moolah there. I don't even know if she handles customers directly. She's so important. But anyone will take great care of you over at mousefantravel.com. Next story is something that is always assigned to Kyle. This is such huge news. Kyle's favorite subject.
Yeah, so even though I've been collecting Lorcana, I'm not very good at playing, so I haven't noticed some of the things, but apparently the numbering, so each set has 204 cards, and they're numbered, but the way that they're numbered starts based on the color. So it starts with amber, and then alphabetically goes through the things. But for this upcoming set, Azurite C, Stitch is apparently really wanted his namesake card, the 26th card in the 6th set, so 626. So even though that this card, Stitch Little Trickster, is an emerald, it'll be the 26th card among the amber. And this card that you're looking at right now, we got to exclusively reveal on Laughing Place, along with a few others. We're going to see the first cards with, I totally just forgot its name, but it's a little doll. And then David is also going to be part of this. Scrump, duh, of course. So yeah, you can check out those cards. People, it's interesting. I love when we get exclusives or news for Lorcana, because there's a really big community. And so seeing reactions to this where people are like, oh, that's really fun and clever. What a cool Easter egg to put Stitch's 626. And other ones who are like, this is completely going to mess up my my organization. So there's a fun split about this.
Tony, thank you for pointing this out. Not only do we recommend Mouse Fan Travel, if you want that military discount, apparently you have to use a travel professional like Mouse Fan Travel, which is an interesting thing. I wonder, I'm very curious why they did that, but yeah, use a travel professional, ask for the military discount, or if you just make sure they know you're military, they'll take care of you at Mouse Fan Travel. All right, our final story in this section is the Cake Bake Shop, the most controversial retail location in the history of Walt Disney World, has officially opened. Has it officially opened? Yes,
I think now it was a soft opening over the weekend. I think it's officially opened, but I don't know.
So this thing was under construction forever over at Boardwalk, and apparently that construction must have cost a lot of money because everyone is talking about the prices at the Cake Bake Shop, and they are high. I understand why they're talking about them. We're talking about pieces of cake for. Here, let's get this thing up here.
They thought making money would be a piece of cake.
So if you want a Pixie Fetty birthday cake, that is $22.99. That is for a piece of cake. I imagine it is a large piece of cake, but still, that is a lot of money. So anyway, it has opened. Also,
it just says cakes. Does it even say slice?
It does not, but I've seen pictures. These are not full pieces of cake, right?
I don't know.
All right. Do we have any in our article? Oh, see, now
I'm just wondering. I think you're right. I do think it slices, but it doesn't say slice technically.
What's it called? Cake shop.
Bake shop.
Bake shop. Disney cake. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, maybe they are cakes. No, they're pieces of cake. They're pieces of cake. I'm looking at some pictures. These are pieces of cake. Okay, very large pieces of cake, but nevertheless pieces of cake.
Okay.
So now I got to go check it out for myself when next time we go there. GL, thank you. Just a slice. Not on your list. They also have opened up the restaurant next door, which is called the Cake Bake Shop Restaurant. High tea, sit-down meals, estimated between $35 and $59 per adult. I'm guessing that difference between $35 and $59 if you get a piece of cake to go with it. Open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But yeah, it's been funny to watch this from afar. They also have pie, $15. As everyone is just talking about the prices, to the point I think I've seen reports that they actually lowered some of the prices a little bit after that initial menu reveal. But hopefully it's good. People are talking about the prices so much, I haven't even seen so much reviews of the actual food.
Yeah.
Speaking of reviews.
And I've had my share of bad reviews. I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
So we've got a couple of reviews for you today. We're going to be reviewing first Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Our own Maxon Faber got to ride, and he wrote a review for us, which is pretty cool. Did I write the one? I think I wrote one. Yeah, I wrote one for Magic Kingdom. I did.
You were our designated writer for that.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of reviewing, but I did do that one. And I think my review is probably a little bit more positive than Maxon's, but not that much.
I think you had a similar conclusion as far as story versus show.
So we've changed how we do this. We no longer read the final paragraph. We now just send it over to ChatGPT and let it do the work for us. Summarize this in 3 sentences. Disneyland's Tiana Bayou Adventure offers visually stunning animatronics, lush new scenes, and a charming New Orleans-inspired queue. However, while the ride excels in aesthetics and technology, the storyline feels somewhat shallow, lacking the emotional depth and tension some expected. Overall, it's a beautiful upgrade that complements New Orleans Square, promising a memorable, visually rich experience when it officially opens. Thank you, Maxon, for that. The review is a little bit more positive than the title, which was Disneyland's TBA is a delicious Disney marvel that lacks sustenance. It's all there, but one feels just a little bit more negative, a little more positive. All right.
Are you saying people should read beyond the headline?
But they don't, so it doesn't matter what I say, they should do. All right, next up we have from Alex, film review, music by John Williams is pure fluff, lacking the depth the legendary composer deserves.
Let's see if it's actually positive.
Here's what we got. By the way, never mind. The documentary, this is a new documentary coming to Disney Plus and big screens in London, New York, and LA on Friday. The documentary Music by John Williams highlights the composer's iconic film scores but lacks depth in exploring his life for musicology. Despite moments of interest, such as Williams playing at his home, the film mainly glosses over his achievements and omits some famous works. It's a celebratory overview for fans, yet it may disappoint those expecting a more insightful exploration of Williams' legacy. And if you want to find out what's in an article without actually reading it, just pop that URL into ChatGPT, tell them to summarize it for you, tell it you wrote it.
I'm actually wondering if we should have this is probably off-air conversation, but we should have like a highlight box at the top that does like a chat. Don't bill it as a ChatGPT summary, but like a summary, like the bottom line at the top.
That's a good idea.
But yeah, like maybe also give star ratings or something and make that part of it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we can even automate that.
Later.
We can even automate that.
Yeah,
put in a short code, and then it just does it automatically.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, while you think about that,
and the rest.
No. We're stuck on this now. we need a video called "Behind the Scenes." All right, just a couple of quick hits before we close out today's show. We call that "And the Rest." Massive construction walls have appeared behind Big Thunder Mountain at the Magic Kingdom. For reasons? What are those reasons?
Beyond Big Thunder.
I did that on purpose. I did not. So yes, obviously stuff is going to be happening there over the next few years, and it looks like work may have actually begun. And Big Thunder itself will be closing for a huge refurbishment later. I'm sorry, the very beginning of next year as well. We'll be closed for at least the entire year. I don't know why that's two different stories, so I'm just going to skip on to Better Together.
Yeah, so over the weekend we spotted some casting announcements from Disney that a lot of the characters from Better Together, and in fact one of the things even said, hey, we need a Joe Gardner, not the one that plays piano over at the hotel, but for the Better Together parade, which of course performed as part of Pixar Fest. Disney hasn't announced it making a comeback, and yet they're casting for it, so that would suggest that it is making a comeback, but we have no other information. So Tony's very excited about this. Other people on our Twitter apparently are not very happy. I don't know why. We don't have a daytime parade in DCA, so it's not like it would be replacing anything. All you have to do is, if you don't want to see it, you just don't watch it.
There's an irony in $35 for a po' boy. All right, and next up,
down on the corner. Over at Disneyland Paris, more specifically Walt Disney Studios Park. There's going to be a new show in what is Studio D, I think it's called. Yeah, Studio D. This is going to be called Minnie's Musical Moment, where her and her friend Jamie, which I would imagine is just a cast member who they're going to, every time they're going to be called Jamie, kind of like the Dans or anything else. But it'll be a fun and interactive game, kind of like Name That Tune. They call it Name That Song. It's going to be a 12-minute show. It'll start November 1st and run through March 2025 over at Walt Disney Studios Park. And, this is as they're preparing to transition over to to Disney Adventure World in 2026.
Dumb name.
It is a dumb name.
Over at Walt Disney World's Epcot Center, the Finding Nemo experiment. The Seeds with Nemo and Friends Pavilion has reopened. They've been refurbishing some of the exhibit areas, and so not a lot of major changes, but we did go through and get a bunch of pictures for you. Go check that out. Oh, so people do not want it back, but Tony's voice, thankfully, is louder than any other I've experienced.
Because they don't want to employ those entertainment cast members.
And finally, Kyle.
So you may have remembered a long time ago, Disney announced Reflections, a Disney Lakeside Lodge, and then we heard nothing about it and nothing happened. But recently, as in August, they got permits filed with the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, and now we're starting to see some vertical construction happening over there. Disney hasn't updated anything, like Disney Parks blog about that, but they are permitted for this and presumably multiple hotels, because I think it was thousands of hotel rooms that they're able to add under the plan that they agreed to with the district. So yeah, looks like reflections or something that reflects those original plans will emerge.
I think it's now official. I feel like this makes it official that River Country is not going to be reopening.
I know.
Sorry.
I always wanted to get like leeches in my brain too, so I'm really disappointed about this.
Wow.
But anyway.
Got a lot of cool stuff happening on LP lately. So the first of these, I want to.
That's what happens when you take a week away.
direct you to. Whoa, over 50,000 rooms have been approved. So let me know, Tony, how many rooms does Disney currently have at Disney World? Not Swan and Dolphin, but just Disney rooms. Because 50,000 seems like a lot. So Alex did a recap of Walt Disney Imagineering's first ever presentation at Lightbox Expo. What is Lightbox Expo, Kyle?
It's an animation expo. Tony would know more about it. I was a little surprised it wasn't Tony there, but I know he goes to the more technical one, which has initials that I forget.
So Alex was there. He went to a presentation on how Imagineering and Disney Animation collaborated to bring Zootopia, Fantasy Springs, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure to life. And it's a kind of a long read. So if you're into how these things actually come to be, I think you will get a big kick out of this. And hey, there's Sharita. Of course, he's there. Big fan of Sharita. Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Lots of background, behind the scenes stuff, concept art. I'm sure that's an incredible read. Go check that out. Also, we have photos from the D23 Tune In to Terror, which was an event they held for, well, Kyle, I should have assigned some of these to you. What's this one?
It was an event that we went to.
This was a D23 event for Halloween at Hollywood Studios. No, goodness, I'm an idiot. At the Hollywood Roosevelt in Southern California. Oh man, I should have read this more carefully. This is crazy. They had a D23
event right
at the Roosevelt
down the street
Hotel.
from El Capitan.
Yeah, I've passed
across
it a
from the
million
Chinese
times, and they turned it into a fun event location.
They put up some posters.
This is cool. The Tip Top Club. A lot of who did this? This is I say around LP, so you can go check out these interesting articles you may have missed.
Tony wrote the article, but I believe Alex was the one at the event while he was in Southern California for Lightbox.
Also, the Disneyland Railroad has just reopened, so we have a video that takes you on a Grand Circle tour, just so you can see what it currently has. Does it have updated audio? Have you watched it? Updated audio?
I think it already had updated. Oh, yeah, I don't know if it now mentions that it opens. Yeah, I don't know if it goes. I haven't looked. I was honestly, so you were on vacation last week. I was in Atlanta, outside of the airport for like the first time ever. For all the time I've technically spent in Atlanta has been at the airport. This time I actually got to go see part of Atlanta. But I was at a convention, or a conference, so I was not paying a ton of attention to Laughing Place, not as much as usual.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if the spot to go through Tiana's is open yet or what.
I want to find out together.
Okay.
I think I'm in the right part of the video.
In the dark, yeah. It's probably right.
We're now entering the Bayou, home to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Take a sneak peek at the big party Princess Tiana is throwing, where the welcome is warm, the music is hot, and the company is sweet as honey.
So they did update the audio. Now we get to see if the window part is open, which not saying anything yet.
So I think the screen is still down, but I think that sounds like audio that will be there for the actual dealie to me.
Yep.
So cool. And finally, the gourd time to be had with Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit. You know when Tony has written an article by the cleverness of the headline. And I don't know if Tony did the pursuit, but he did write the article.
He's also been having some fun with our new subheadings.
Subtle hints to pumpkin locations included. So Yeah, this is the Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit, which is part of the Food and Wine Festival, which ends on Friday. So if you're going and you want to make sure you see all the pumpkins, you can check out this article, and it will show you where everything is. If you don't want to be spoiled on where everything is, don't read the article before you go. All right.
The fun stuff.
I make sure I have something for this section, even if it rightly belongs someplace else, just so we can get that intro. Currently 36,000 rooms. 50,000 would be a lot more. This is cool. This is over at Disney Springs, and they have changed how they display their plush there at World of Disney. Sorry, I thought I showed it. I did not. I love this. That's all.
That's fun. It's almost like it's not as good as Plush Mountain from the old Disney stores. But...
Plush Mountain. That's cool. So that's fun. We've only got one for you today, Kyle.
Okay. Well, I better get it right.
Yeah. So you have a chance for a perfect score. On this day in 1994, a movie came out. From progress walls to development. Tony has a talent. From progress walls, no, fictional chronicle. This is a movie from 1994. IMDb describes it as a fictional chronicle of Blank's life prior to and including the arrival of the Mayflower in 1620.
Someone's. I don't know any pilgrims. Or I guess it would be somewhat. It would be on land. So it's is it so Native Americans of some sort? Pocahontas. Even close with the year, but it's a live action movie. Yeah, I'm like Pocahontas would be 95. John Smith.
Okay, so you don't know it. Let's watch the trailer together.
All right. Never heard of it.
Taken from his family.
This is from 94. This looks
Time
like
out.
it's from 75.
You have never heard of Squanto, A Warrior's Tale?
No.
Oh my god. It's such a fun title that we used to joke about the title all the time. We walk around saying it.
I mean, I've seen Squanto 2 Electric Boogaloo, but
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you never heard of that movie. I am shocked. All right, we've got football picks, but from last week to do, but we're going to wait and save those for tomorrow.
I did lock mine in on the thing, so I'll send you. I did forget to do one, but I would have gotten it wrong anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, so send me what you got, please, so I can get all that prepped. I did mine for our Pigskin Pick'em. Got a few other articles that we could have ran today, but we knew today would be chock full of stuff, so I decided to hold those for tomorrow.
We're going to have last week's results tomorrow as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we will do last week's results tomorrow, this week's results tomorrow. A few stories that I skipped over, but want to make sure we do talk about, including one that I saw caused quite a lot of fun while we were gone.
I'm very glad. I just previewing tomorrow's football picks thing. That Hail Mary from the Commanders. Good for Kyle.
That Hail Mary. Dude, hearing Get Up talk about that this morning and just how badly the Bears played not only the Hail Mary, but the play before. It's embarrassing.
You saw the video of the one Bears player mocking the
crowd
right before. That's some karma chameleon right there.
And it's not like he didn't have anything to do with it. He's the guy that ended up tipping the ball that got caught. That's wow. What an ending.
Hey, but D-Hop's on my Chiefs now, so that's cool too.
D-Hop. You're so funny. You talk like you're such a sports fan. You don't even like sports.
How about some Cowboys? How did that go?
Shut up. All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back at 4 o'clock with Disney Parks Talk and talking a whole lot more about Disneyland's Tiana's Bayou Adventure and everything going on at Bayou Country. I guess that's it. Bye-bye.
Bye.